I'm Adam Reese, and this video is on lower back health. And when it comes to the lower back, a pound or an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And your lower back heals, and it heals very well. And we're going to show you some ways that you can help it out. The next one is how you get down and up off the floor. And I realize you're probably not laying down on the floor, but I bet you're getting out of bed every day or off the couch or something like that. So how do we get down in a way that doesn't make our back hurt? All right, it doesn't pick the scab, all right? Well, first of all, we're gonna slide our hand down our thighs to get back into the hips. We really wanna use those hips. And this is how you would get, into a chair or into your car or onto the toilet, and then you would sit, right? But from here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna shift our weight and we're gonna put one foot back, that knee down, other knee down, and then you're gonna slide your hands down to your knees again, and then you're gonna walk out, and then you're gonna put one hand up and then push yourself over to come to that roll. Push yourself back to roll. See how we're just spinning at the spine like a cylinder? Then pull those arms up underneath you. And this is where everybody screws up, is they throw themselves up here. Don't do that. Get your elbows underneath you, sit your hips back, shimmy. Or what we're gonna do next when we get into foam rolling is how we would get on the ground to do so. All right, we're down here on the ground. We're gonna get some foam roll, a little foam rolling in. Go ahead and cross your arms, go right between your shoulder blades. This is a crowd favorite. But why are we foam rolling? Well, same reasons you'd get a massage. You're putting a little bit of pressure on the muscle, you're moving some blood flow around, and it just generally feels good. You're improving the range of motion, but also we're getting kind of the beginnings of a warm-up here. Like I have to hold my body up, like I have to build some tension in my trunk to be able to do this, right? So same thing if I were to spin around and hit my quads. Now we talked about that picking of the scab at the low back and what we don't want to pick there, right? So when you're doing this, and we're gonna go into more during the workout, but when you're doing this, we really wanna stabilize here because we're trying to improve motion in the hips so that the hips do all the movement for us and so that this stays put so that that spine doesn't keep on getting that scab picked over and over and over again, because that's how these spine injuries happen, right? It's either traumatic or you spend too much time in one position for too long, or it's this picking of the scab. If I did this enough times, I'd eventually wear a hole right through my skin there. It might take 20 years, it might take 30 years, it might take a year, but that picking of the scab is what causes the problem. So we're just gonna get a few different foam roller positions here before we start, because if you've been sitting for a long period of time, your chair has taken over for your core. And when your chair takes over for your core, these muscles can kind of go to sleep. Well, we need them to wake back up a little bit. It's a nice way to get a lot of benefit out of the foam roller, but also just to move around a little bit and get those cranking. There are three big moves that we want in any low back health exercise, because we need to be working the front, we need to be working the sides, and we need to be working the back, but we also need to be teaching them how to hold position while these do the movement. This does the movement, right? So the first one that we're gonna do is we're just gonna show a low grade lateral plank. So for a lateral plank, we're getting on the elbow, pushing ourselves to the ceiling, putting our hand right on our hip, and we're gonna add a clam to this to kind of get that butt working a little bit. Remember, good hips solve low backs, and good hips solve knees. Okay, when we're done with that, we're gonna flip over into a bird dog. Okay, from here, you're gonna stick one arm out and one leg back and one arm forward. Okay, when we're doing this right now, just go ahead and take that toe and keep it on the ground. Just kind of slide it back and hold position there, because we're really trying to teach the body how to move from here while stabilizing here. The last thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna lay down on the floor and we're gonna roll, right? And then you're gonna take your hands, put them in your low back, and you're just gonna flex at the top. Now, we're not doing a crunch. We don't wanna do crunches. Crunches is probably what is the movement pattern that helps you get a back problem. So we're gonna put those hands in the low back and we're gonna flex up. We're trying to flex the top half where your spine moves very well, not the bottom half. And when we get to the top, we're gonna take 2 big breaths. Now, those abs that are in front, those are connected way down deep into the lower portion of your abdomen and into your pelvis, okay? They're also attached up here to your thoracic spine. So they're flexing us forward. We're putting our hands on our low back to prevent the flexion of the low back. We just want the upper back to flex, not the low back. Okay, so you've got a lateral plank, you've got a bird dog, and you've got a right side curl up to get some of those. We're gonna be doing different exercises during the warm up, but those are 3 big ones that you want in any of your warm ups if you're really focusing on building stability in your low back while building a movement pattern at your hips that will end up saving your low back also. During the workout, we want to be thinking about spine like saver activities, but also things that are going to build this up a little bit. Now, although the deadlift is this great core exercise that is awesome for building your butt and hamstrings, it's probably not what we want to tick off first. So we're going to be working on other activities to get the butt and hamstring. But real quick, I'm just going to show you an inverted row. This is a great way to work on your arms and your upper back. But it's basically an upside down plank or an upside down push-up where you're moving. So we're going to bring the elbows to the sides and we're going to walk under to wherever it feels heavy to you. But can you see how I have to create a dynamic movement of my upper body while building stability through my low back and my hips, holding me in position there. So this can be a great exercise to be able to kind of, build that stiffness in the low back to be able to produce it when you need it. Anyway, we're going to get more into that when we get into the actual workout, but that's one exercise that is very, very good for people with chronic low back pain. There is a ton more information around low backs and keeping them healthy. And although I'd like to put them all in this video, we want to keep this short because, I mean, there's like book upon book upon book that we could actually fill information on. So if you're interested and you have questions, put them in the comment section below or click the link and hop into the actual workout and you'll get to learn hands-on from us guiding you through how to do this thing and how to save this so that you can get more out of your life outside of here. Because you don't want to spend your whole life exercising and beating up on this thing. You want to use exercise to have more of the life that you do want to live. So anyway, go ahead and click below and hop in.